All right, explain what happens when a rod rubbed with fur comes close but does not touch an electroscope. Well, that brings up a whole new topic. What the heck is an electroscope? This is an electroscope.
That's awesome.
An electroscope is a charge detecting device.
That's pretty sweet.
And I chose my words very carefully. Now, we want to zoom more in on this one because we're going to talk about this a little bit. An electroscope, we're also going to diagram it up on the board, but it has some very special parts that we need to understand. And some names, and I'll put them up on the board and we'll diagram them. First, up here, this is a metal ball. Okay?
Oh.
Wow, it's a tough one.
Well, and we call it the ball. Okay? Coming down, this is an iron stem. So we call it the stem. Okay? And this right here, this we'll either call the arm or the leaves. Okay? I'll explain why it's leaves. When we refer to an electroscope, for the most part, this is all I care about. Everything else, all it is just something to hold this up off the table. So this side, the bottom, does nothing. So when we diagram it, all I want you really to diagram, we're going to diagram the ball, the stem, and the leaves. One thing I want to point out, the stem is rigid metal. The leaves, however, are able to move. So this is the ball, the stem, the leaves, or we can call it the arm. The reason we call it leaves, there's another form of electroscope that has a ball, a stem, and down at the bottom, they're actually pieces of gold leaf. So little tiny, tiny sheets of gold. Okay, it's not like, ooh, super expensive, because they are very, 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 very tiny thin. And it does the same thing. So that's why this is a little hardier. They generally work a little bit better than these. So that's why we sometimes also call them leaves. Now, we had said, how am I doing on time?
12.
Okay, we had said most objects are naturally neutral. So what's the charge on the electroscope? Neutral. Does that mean that it doesn't have any charges?
No.
It just means that the charges that are on it are distributed. Now, in general, we want to make sure that we show a lot of charges on this, because you will see why. So let's say 3 or 4 up on the top. Don't just draw one, or else it'll be very confusing later on. And a couple down the stem, a couple on the leaves. Now it's neutral, so for every positive, there also needs to be a buddy negative. There we go. So now we're going to start doing some stuff with this. Okay. So this says, explain what happens when a rod that's been rubbed with fur is brought close but does not touch the electroscope. From now on, if I say something is brought close, you need to know it means it does not touch. If something touches, we will explicitly make sure that you understand that they touch. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead. Now, this has charge on it. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, I just charged this up by rubbing it with fur. I told you this is a charge detector. So you're going to see how it detects charge. I bring this close.
Wait. Oh.
Okay, we'll do it again. You're going to fail now.
But you can move your head on.
And
Like this.
No.
how do I put it right down that row?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
If you can't see, you should probably come get somewhere where you can.
So,
Now, to point out, if I come from the top, same thing happens. If I come from this side, same thing happens. What in the heck is going on?
oh, yeah.
So,
It's, I know what it's doing.
what's the charge? Okay, so we have that box. We're going to put 2 pictures in the box. Okay? First one looks like this, and we're going to say far away.
This has does it fit in this little box?
Stop whinging. Okay, so this thing is net neutral. This here is net negative. Okay. So that's when they're far away. And you see the arm is up. Well, clearly we saw the arm move when we got close. So we're going to draw this again. Now you have a freebie when you draw these. The freebie is you know where every single positive charge is. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And now this is close. Does close mean touching?